Good morning. I want to tell you a funny story. Well, I think it's funny anyway. So, those of you who saw my video yesterday where I talked about love handles are the fat that you develop around your hips. And if you develop enough of it, you can actually grab it. And if you develop too much of it, in other words, if there's too much fat, it can start hanging down. I've known of really overweight people where those love handles were hanging down to their knees. Anyway, but on a lot of people who are even a little bit overweight, they'll have these love handles. So, yesterday in my video I shared how just losing a few pounds has made such a difference because those love handles are no longer sort of impinging on my thighs so that I can walk much more freely. And I usually post my Facebook video lives on my YouTube channel. Well, I titled it Weight Loss and Love Handles. I think that was the title I had. Well, later in the day, I get this email from YouTube and it says, "We're sorry to tell you, but your video has been removed from YouTube for violating our sex and nudity guidelines, sex and nudity guidelines." And I thought, what? I wonder if it's because of the name. Anyway, I went online. They sent me a form to appeal it if I wanted to, and I said, this has nothing to do with sex or nudity and, blah, blah, blah. And I submitted it. And then I thought, I wonder if it has to do with the fact that I used the term love handles. So I went in and I changed it to weight loss and ease of movement. That's pretty innocuous. Well, this morning I get another email and it says, we've removed your video for the same reason, violation of sex and nudity guidelines. So I went back and changed it to to weight loss and love handles, because I looked up love handles on YouTube. There were so many videos. Most of them had to do with, exercise and weight loss and things like, health-related things. And anyway, so I read further, and apparently there's this whole big article that YouTube provided me with about how, because of COVID, it's caused a lot of their workforce to have to work at home and reduce their workforce and blah, blah, blah. And basically that now they're relying on technology for about 90% of checking for meeting guidelines. So apparently some computer, this is what must have happened, looked at or listened to my video and found some sort of keywords that fit into their categories of sex and nudity violations. So this time I submitted an appeal, and I said, please have a real human being review my video, because this has nothing to do with sex or nudity. Has to do with weight loss. And oh my gosh, I think it's hysterical. Also, if you know me, I'm not going to put on something like that. But anyway, so when I got that initial email, oh wait, let me start my coffee. Yeah, I get to talking here, and I've already got some of that silk almond and coconut milk in here. And let's see, oh my gosh, what do I want to have? One day I'm complaining because I don't have enough choice, and today I'm complaining because I have too much choice. Let's see. Oh wait, what do I have here? That's a Bianco Forte, Costa Rica, peppermint. Do I want peppermint? Oh, I'm sorry. I should have decided. I'm going to go ahead and have the peppermint. No. No, because these are my last peppermint pinwheels here. Okay. Gee, all right. I'm just going to have a Stormio. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. So, I was saying that when I got that first email, even though I knew that it was ridiculous, that there was nothing about sex or nudity in my video, I still had this feeling like, oh my gosh, that, they think that I would do something like that. I mean, of course, when I read on, I realized they is probably some computer, but anyway, that doesn't have human sensibilities. But anyway, I just had this few minutes of just feeling just, oh, so bad, kind of like in my insides that someone would think that of me. And then my mail came, okay? And I did share this yesterday in a separate video, but see this? Okay, I love these sand picture things. I mean, I even like watching an hourglass, or when I was a little kid, we had the little egg timers in the kitchen, and I used to like just watching the sand flow down in those. Anyway, I saw this on Amazon, and it also came with one of these dealies, and it wasn't very expensive, and I thought, I'm going to go ahead and order them. Well, they arrived. I opened it up, and I'll tell you why I ordered them. Watching stuff like this fascinates me, and it just really helped to calm me down and make me, it allowed me to feel better. It allowed me to just get over that feeling of, oh no, they don't like me. It's funny because when I think about it, and actually I've talked about this before, in the front of your brain, okay, you have got a part of your brain that does the thinking and the executive functions. That's where, that's the part of the brain that makes me able to say, oh, this is a computer decided this, I don't need to be upset or feel like the people at YouTube, think that I would post something objectionable with sex or nudity. That's the executive function of my brain talking. But you have we have other stuff in your brain, the amygdala and other things too. And those are the parts of your brain that in a lot of ways can make life easier because you don't have to think about something, you just react. Like if your house catches on fire, you don't stand around and think, oh, I wonder how that happened, you run out, or if you see somebody has, fallen down and is hurt, you don't stand there and go, look at that person. Should I get involved? I don't know. You might think, should I get involved these days? But usually, you'd run over and help them. Like if your little kid fell down or something, you don't just stand there and, you run over and help. So you have parts of your brain that help you to react. The problem is that sometimes those reactions are not helpful to you. And, some of them are things that were formed because of stuff that happened when you were a baby or a little kid, or really intense experiences, like, for example, soldiers who, like you probably read or heard about, from World War One, especially. There were soldiers who came back home with shell shock. They had become so jarred and frightened and upset over hearing exploding bombs so much during their war experience that when they finally came home, loud noises set off the same sort of fear and, being upset, because that part of their brain was reacting. And whereas your reaction or my reaction might be, oh, we might be startled. What was that noise? Theirs just sort of set off the whole, terrible fear and everything they experienced during the war. So, for whatever reason, when I got that email, I had this reaction. Well, for whatever reason, this thing and this thing calm me down. It just sort of engages my attention, and my reaction is, see, I don't have to sit and think, oh, calm down, Sylvia. No, my attention is engaged immediately, and I love looking at all the different shadings, and it's almost like a watercolor painting or something, and it fascinates me, and it gives me, in essence, what's happening is I have a little bit of a breather, in a way. I have a few seconds where my mind is taken away from being upset, and it sort of unhooks me from the being upset. So, on the one hand, I could say to myself, oh, wait, I read this article. This is because of a computer decided this. A computer doesn't really know. Just, pulled out some words, and I could reason through it. And that's good, to be able to reason through stuff. But honestly, looking at the sand picture and the other, I don't even know what you call these things. Some people would say they're useless. I don't think so at all. These are like stress relief toys, and it's not useless. It helps me. Anyway, so, but I wanted to tell you that story because I thought it was, I guess, one of those things that only happens because we do have computers, because computer programs are used to evaluate things where there is no human consideration or understanding brought in to inform the situation. And, just like a person would look at my video from yesterday and say, this is fine, this is innocuous stuff, but the computer found some key words in there. And actually, when you submit a resume or something like that to monster.com or whatever those other job kind of websites are, what they have is computers that read through your resume, and they look for these key words to see what types of jobs you might match up with. And, oh golly, at a time in my life when I was looking for a job, I had some crazy things match up. And there are actually courses that you can take or tutorials or whatever about how to make a resume so that you'll have the right words that match up with these computer programs that are looking for people to be interviewed for certain types of jobs or be offered certain types of jobs. Of course, as we all know, I don't think humans are going to go out of style anytime soon, because you need the human intellect and emotion, compassion, consideration to inform the intelligence of the computer. Yeah, you do. Well, anyway, back to coffee here. So this is Stormio. It doesn't need anything in it. Okay, I'm gonna go have breakfast, and Grayson is patiently waiting for me. You patiently waiting, Grayson? Are you? Yes. I hope that you have a lovely day, and that if you find yourself being upset about something, that you can either use your prefrontal cortex, the thinking, executive, reasoning portion of your brain, the practical guy in your brain, to help yourself out of being the emotions of being upset. Or I hope that you can find something to distract you and engage your thoughts otherwise, so that you'll have a little bit of sort of be able to step back from the unpleasant emotions, calm down, and then, if it's required, give it some reasonable thought. Because sometimes it is hard to think reasonably, isn't it? If we're all in a tizzy and, having all these emotions going on. Well, I'm going to go sit with Grayson and watch my sand picture. Have a great day, you guys.